Right, what's happening, lads? Welcome to episode 10 of the Footium Strategy Show with myself, Harry Trades, and with me, as always, the man, the myth, the legend, Psufans2. What is going on, mate? Nice to see you.
Not too much. Just freshly back from my trip. Very tired. Very tired. Still a bit jet lagged. So I'm ready to go to bed tonight. I'm
The most,
ready.
important, the most important thing is, have you been able to keep up with your Footium teams whilst
Yes,
being
I
away?
have. I actually did pretty well. I think I didn't lose a game while I was on my trip. Actually, that's not true. I was waiting in the airport. Well, so like the one game I had as we were literally playing my D2 game, we were like taking off.
Oh,
We
no.
literally like left the ground right at halftime of the game. So I got some subs in like right before we took off, and then we took off. So I have been able to keep up with everything. And I think I did mostly okay while I was gone.
Okay. Well, that's positive because
Yes.
I've had a topsy-turvy run in D5. I started off horrendously bad. I couldn't win a game for the first three.
I saw
In
that.
in fairness, I played who is he ends up being first place right now. I drew with him first game, so I was like, okay, I mean, I could tell his squad was pretty good.
Sure.
To dive straight into T5. And then, the next two games, I just ended up losing against teams that I probably expected to beat. But I've seen a lot of people in the Discord, I've been sort of rummaging through there the last couple of days and stuff. And a lot of people are saying that they seem to just they're winning games that they probably shouldn't be. And they seem to be losing games that on paper you probably should be winning. And I guess that's how football goes sometimes, though, in real life, right?
It is.
It's not too far off, you know?
I hate reading some of the negativity in the Discord because it's just like you lost a game. Like if your team's not like if your team's not way better than the other team,
right,
you should lose a decent chunk of the time. Like if your team is way better, yeah, maybe you should win 90% of the time or more. But like if your team is like comparable, I would be like, oh, I don't expect to win every time. And like it just wouldn't expect it. So like I don't know. I see some of that stuff and I'm just like, why? Like are people just want to pay and have a much better team and just smash everyone, and that's just like not realistic. Like I don't really get pissed if I lose. I get pissed if I lose to a ghost, but like
yeah.
I, knock on wood, don't think I've lost to a ghost. Knock on wood, because it happens. Like the best team in D2 lost to a ghost last week.
Yeah, that's cool.
And they have like 90s and shit.
What? See, that's where I'm a bit like, what actually has gone on there? You know, like that can't happen, right?
Like they lost to a ghost. Like they didn't run their A lineup, obviously, but like their B lineup, their B lineup or their C lineup, I would say, should still definitely beat a ghost, but it did not beat a ghost. And I was like watching and laughing my ass off. I was like, that's wild.
Yeah, that's kind of hilarious. And we do have a little message in the chat to say that they're selling Wimmet Wanderers for $250. If anyone's interested, please reply by tagging him in this message. So yeah, if anyone watches this back and is looking to acquire a new team, I'm not sure what division it is in. Maybe we could get a bit of info on that. But thought I'd point that out.
Yeah, I saw you lost to a team like in like 10th or 11th. Like I saw you lost to a team like the first week of the season that was like the worst team in the league or something.
So yeah, it was either my second or third game because I lost both of them. So it would have been one or I got battered. Well, to be fair, there's Colvar in second, so it must be this team.
That game. Yes.
New Old City. Yeah, this is in 10th. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw you lost that team. To be fair, I don't really know why they're so bad though either. Because like, I feel like I looked at their lineup and it was like pretty reasonably comparable to yours.
Yeah, 50.
And I don't think they've moved those guys off the team, but I could be wrong. Like maybe I am, or maybe they're like way more like tired now or something. I don't know.
To be fair, I did rotate heavily here. Like my midfield is like heavily rotated.
Gotcha.
I played 5 at the back, which is what I do when I rotate because I have these wing backs. And I played technically my second best centre back, but didn't play my best keeper. I didn't expect to lose, but for him. But in fairness, he does have better ratings than me if we're going off that sort of logic. Then he probably did deserve to win. But I don't know. I honestly, first 3 games, I just thought like, what have I done here? Like I prepped so hard. I prepped so hard for D5. Like I was honestly for like 4 days, I was just balls deep in OpenSea, as you know.
Yeah,
just tracking the market. Obviously, Discord as well, where everyone posts their their bits they want to sell. And yeah, I spent a good chunk on improving, because we knew I had to do that. Like, it was a given. If I wanted to just keep myself above water, I needed to improve with especially the silver, the silver players. Did that, and then obviously, that's a lesson learned, right? Don't expect sort of instant results with those teams. It's going to take time, and I'm on a 5-game win streak now, so I must be 8. Should be my 9th game, I think, technically. First you're disastrous, and then 5 on a bounce.
You're right back up. I will say, Harry, there's a realistic shot we end up in the same league next season.
No,
because in the D4 that I think this goes up to, I'm in that D4 for sure. And then I also have no,
that's not good. This is Harden Stanley, who won my league last year.
Oh, this is your rival for you came up with. And then and then D5, like, I'm gonna get relegated with a team down to D5, which could go into this league.
So you're going from D4 to D5, is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So I'm gonna be in the D4 still, and then I'm also gonna be in a D5. So it is possible that we end up in the same league next season. It would be fun, to be fair, if we end up in the same league.
That could be fun. Yeah, we'd have to we'd obviously dedicate an episode to that.
Yeah. And then I bring my wing sail. And then I bring my wing sail team down and
let's talk about rewards and stuff, because they've sort of been updated. I don't think they're obviously not fully updated, because there's still minting to be done and business to be had or whatever. But what's your thoughts? Because I haven't seen too much negativity, to be completely honest. But I've also not seen too much positivity, which is probably a good thing. But what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, people are so reactionary to stuff. I understand it. I'm not saying people shouldn't be concerned, because I do think there's some merit to it. I think there is some merit to there are not tons of new users coming in, which we've talked about. They haven't come out with a great there we go. We got back at the Eagle. They haven't come out with a great onboarding process yet. We do know that they're working on that.
Yeah, I'll tell you now. I don't know whether you've heard, but I've heard from a good source that for season 10 there's going to be a really interesting sort of, let me just call it a trial where people don't have to spend money to play this game, basically.
Yeah. Which is
really interesting.
Again, we'll see how it works. I have no idea. Yeah. But so anyways, option 1, they haven't got enough new users in.
Right.
They're aware of that. They're aware their onboarding isn't good. They're working on that. Okay. So that takes care of option 1. If you don't like that, then
is that a long free kick? Yeah. Is that a long free kick? I think that's a long free kick.
So that was another thing I saw that in chat. I don't think my team has ever scored a long free kick, ever.
Have a look. Maybe not. It's Alan Gray with the free kick. Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever scored a free kick in any of my games, and I don't think I've really conceded any either. I literally don't remember it. So I've seen that post 3 days in a row, and I'm just I haven't seen that.
Yeah, I don't know where that happened.
So anyway, yeah, that's option 1, and I think you would agree with it, right? That the onboarding is not great. They know it. They're working on it. So, would you agree with all of those aspects?
Yeah, 100%. It's such a new. I know it's been out for years, but it hasn't. It's been out for 10 seasons, which is a month a season. It's not even a year. I completely agree with that. Yeah, they know it's a sort of a sticking point right now, and there's a content creator. It's not the smoothest process that to sort of onboard people and just even introduce people to the game from a free to play aspect, because you do kind of just have to jump in with spending, and I mean, it's not a ton of money. You could probably get going now for $150 probably, but at the same time, like you said, it's still a friction point.
Yeah. Okay. Number 2 is people are less interested in leaving the game, and they don't like stuff that are going on, whether it's the cheating in D1. There's other issues again, I think they're aware of a lot of that stuff. I think they are trying to fix some things. I thought the flattening out the payouts was good this year. For example, I set lineups that maybe I would have lowered to lower divisions in previous seasons. Then I'm oh, this team probably can finish 4th or 5th in the higher division with a shot to get 2nd or 3rd or something. Or if I put it down, it's for sure going to get 1st. But I'm all right, there's at least more upside with it. And with 1st being less down low and 3rd, 4th being worth more up in the higher division, I have set my lineups in a way that I may not have set it previously. And also, there are things I think they are working on those. So again, you could not agree with those things. And also, there were some people that left. Like some people were upset and don't like the changes, and that's what you should do. If you constantly don't like what is going on and stuff, you should like leave, right? Because you have to sort of trust like what they're doing, and like if you're like, oh, I constantly disagree with what's going on, that's not a great sign. So that's 2. And 3, which I think is the most obvious answer, and the one that like, yeah, some people have mentioned, but like I just think people are overlooking it when they're bitching and moaning about stuff. Everybody started at season 0 with a fresh batch of players that were different ages, but like a fresh batch of players. Then you had season 0. You could mint guys.
Right.
They didn't age. No one aged. Then you had season 0.5. No one aged, and you could mint players. And people minted a lot of players at those levels because they had good mints. So that like they minted players because of where their players were at compared to like the new players. Like they were able to mint new guys. Well, then what happened? And then you get to season 1. And again, people were able to mint players. Well, the issue is I think what people did in the early seasons is basically all the guys that you got, or a lot of the guys you got, were basically like low-level academy mints in your lineups and stuff like that. Well, then you get these mints, and all of a sudden you mint 6 dudes on your team. At the time it was 5. So like all of a sudden everyone's minting 5 guys. Then they open it up to 7. Well, all of these players that we're talking about, they're all still under 25. Or like they're like 25. Like that's pretty much the highest they all can be. So basically what people did is they over purchased players over the previous 8 seasons because they had holes. They filled those holes. They bought 6 guys. Well, on average, like if you think about it on average, each team should probably be minting 2 players a season. Because that would basically like the academy mints are between the ages 16 and 18. So that if you do 16 to 18, that basically is like 13 to 15 seasons, depending on their age. So if you mint 2 players a season, on average, you're going to have a squad of like 25 to 30.
Yeah. Okay.
So realistically, people should only be minting 2 players a season. Well, I think what was happening, I did this. People were minting 4 or 5 guys.
Right.
Well, if you're minting 4 or 5 dudes, at some point you get into a log jam where you're like, oh shit, I got a lot of dudes and I don't really need stuff, which can be good and bad. The good is like, okay, I have a lot of guys, I have a lot of options, I need to get through it. I'm going to have them for a while. The bad is like, oh, now I'm going to be able to like look at my academy and be like, oh, I don't really like anyone this year. I'm just not going to mint anyone. And then like next season, oh, I like 3 guys. I'm going to mint 3 instead of the 0 I minted last season. So like I'm looking at my gallery. I have 5 teams in my clubs, or I have 5 clubs right now, and I probably have enough to set like 4 good lineups between D2 and D4, somewhere in that range.
Yeah.
Over the next like 7 seasons, I lose like 2 players. Because everyone is the age of 24 or lower, because like that's where the levels are at. So like I lose like 1 goalie in 5 seasons. I lose 1 left back next season. I lose 1 center back in 3 seasons. I lose a DM this season. I lose a right winger in like 6 seasons, and that's it. That's it. Everybody else I have for like the next 7 years or 7 seasons at least. So I don't have to go buy a lot of players. And I think that's what like a lot of people did. I also think that there was probably like some positions and players and stuff were overpriced to begin with.
Yeah.
And so all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm going to list this dude. And because you got to look at what you can return, right? If you spend 0.2 ETH a season, let's say you spend 0.2 every season, you need to be able to return 0.25 probably every season, because you got to return a profit or it's just not going to work. Like, some seasons you'll return less, some seasons more. But like, I think there was some price points that like people were paying these prices, and it's like the math ain't mathing.
because the player is too expensive in comparison to what you could win in a season. Yeah,
correct. Because like if you're spending 0.1 ETH on a guy and playing him in like D7, like you just really can't pay that off.
Right. But then you've got that guy for, it depends on his age, but obviously you've got that guy. It's similar to Sora, isn't it? It's like how long, of a career does that player have, and how many seasons will he, be of utility to you? So you're saying, basically everyone minted so many early on that we're still not at that stage yet where they've all retired, basically, isn't it?
And we're not at that stage for a long time. So what people can do if they want is just ride what they have. Like, go look at your account team. Let's go look at your account team and let's see like what you have. Yours is a bit different because obviously you have sort by rating.
Yeah.
So like remove your gold. Like remove Claudio Gonzalez. So let's pretend he doesn't exist for a while. Every single one of these other dudes you have for at least 5 seasons.
Right.
At least.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily need to bring someone in to replace them because they're good. They're there.
They're not going anywhere.
Yeah. So like every single person on this screen that we can see right here on screen, the only person that you lose in the next 5 seasons is that one guy. And then that. So it's like a thing where I think there's just like people have bought, because like in order to compete, you realistically have to have decent cards. So people had to buy, like, when I started, I had 2 D8 teams and a D2 team.
Right.
Well, if I want to play with 4 teams in D2 to D5, I can't just run those guys. So I got to buy a lot of dudes, which is what I did. But now, like, I don't need to buy as many dudes because I have a lot of dudes. So it's like one of those things. I think we're in a position right now where a lot of people are in a spot where they can just not really address anything for the immediate seasons. What is going to happen, though, is in 6 to 8 seasons around Christmas time in January, in that window, those guys are all retired. Like, I'll tell you, because like right now, like I have like 10 to 12 guys, if not more. I might even have like 15 that are like 22 right now.
Okay.
So like next March, I lose like 15 dudes.
Yeah, but then that means like you only need to mint 2 over the next 7 seasons, like each season, for that to like not balance out ratings wise, but balance out obviously player number wise, right?
Correct. But so like the issue was, I think people were buying 4 or 5 guys a season, and they just don't need to do that. And I think that the idea is like they're going to be minting 1 to 2 guys a season, because I think that's a more realistic number for churn rate per team. Like obviously, like if you have 4 teams, you can't mint 2 guys. You probably got to mint 8. So I think that that's part of the thing, is that I think people were minting a lot more players than they had to mint, which has led to a surplus in players currently that we're seeing, especially and that whole age range. That whole age range is like maxing out right now, right? Like a lot of my 22 to 24-year-olds have like 3 or less potential left remaining to unlock, because I've played them and I've trained them. So like, like my one center back is an 84 overall. He has 3 remaining potential. I'm pretty sure he started as a 60. I'm pretty sure I have like 24 training sessions into him by now.
And what age is he? Sorry,
and he's 23.
Wow.
I think I got him at 16. I think he was like a 60 overall, and I think I've trained him like 24 times. He might have been like a 60. He might have been like a 66, and I put in like 18 sessions. But either way, like all of that age range for the most part. Like if I'm just looking through my guys that are not rares that are in that age range, like I have a fullback. He's an 81 now with 1 more max potential remaining. I have another fullback. He's a 75. He has 1 more rating to open. I have a goalie. He's a 75 overall. He's 21. He's done. Oh no, equalizer. So like I don't know. I think people are just. It's a similar Sora situation. Why are people mad? Because the money went down. That's it.
Right.
But there's a pretty clear answer to why the money went down right now.
I think that's a pretty normal. Like corrections happen in games all the time, don't they? Like otherwise, it's probably unsustainable. I'd like to think, without being an economist or anything and knowing too much. Oh, Pierre's just giving us a message. Hi, I know it's not a solo stream, but I got myself. I'm fairly banned yesterday. I'm sorry. I'm wondering if you knew someone to contact to get it fixed, as they are taking long to respond. I think the last time I tried to help somebody, they literally just told me like, you have to contact support. So
Yeah.
I'd like to say yeah, Pierre, but I genuinely don't, because I've genuinely asked. I've tried to do this with someone else before, someone in my Discord, and they didn't help me. They literally just said just contact support, and eventually they got it done. But yeah, sorry that's happened to me.
Yeah, it takes longer than you would want it to get taken care of, but I mean, it is what it is.
100%.
So yeah, like I don't know, like yeah, like you said, I think another thing too is like it seemed like they corrected academies, because I think they don't want like 80s and stuff to be in Division 4, Division 5. So I think they tried to correct the academy this season by making the guys worse to start, which like is kind of an issue. So to me, a better solution is like, all academy men start at like a similar level, but the good players can get to a higher rating eventually. Because like I don't disagree. The people are not wrong when like you look at your academy in D4 and it's like, oh, my guy's a 42 to start, and then you go look at your D5, like this is your D5. Yeah. What the hell are you supposed to do if your academy mints are like in the low 40s? Like you can't do shitloads with them. Like I do think it's overblown. People think you like can't get minutes from
like 40s.
Yeah, you can. I mean, you're showing right here, like you have some guys that are in the low to mid 40s that are in your lineup.
Right.
Like, is that guy awesome? No. Like, but like, can you like sneak a game from him, get him some minutes in so that you can train him? Yeah, you can.
And academy mints can grow. Like, you know, like this guy here, I'm pretty sure like he's max. So I'm not gaining anything from playing him necessarily. Right. With an academy mint, obviously you get minutes and
like I think people overblow that a little bit. And then I also, like I said, I think people like, yeah, your academy mints, like you have some 40s in your academy. Could you like mint them? But the issue is like when you look at him, it's like, all right, this guy's a 40 and his max is a 55.
Yeah.
You're like, well, shit, like look at your team. Like I'm like, would a 55 be in your lineup? Yeah.
Maybe. Now and again, yeah. Like it wouldn't change. It wouldn't like be groundbreaking.
Exactly.
You know?
So like you're looking at like a D5 min, you're like, all right, this guy's ceiling is being a rotational D5 player.
Right. Which I think there's room for some of them though, yeah. But that can't be the best player, if that makes sense, right? Like
correct. But I think again, we've talked about, like I think part of it is like people are being more selective with who they mint. People aren't just minting every card. Like early seasons, like I was minting like every card I could because they were like really good, because nobody's players were like maxed out potential wise. So like if you got a 40 at season 0, like he would have been a playable player in D5. He's not now. So like what I think is probably a better solution is like starting guys higher and just limiting the potential on guys that are like D5 mints. Because if you made this guy, like let's say you have some guys that are like a 50 overall, but his ceiling is like a 60, and then like a D1 guy is like, he's like a 50. Oh, did we get one? Oh no, we got trolled, but we got the rebound. But like, let's say the guy starts at like a 55, but his ceiling is like 78. All right, that's a lot better, because that's a lot more attainable for you to play that 50 guy in those lineups. Because like a lot of the time people drop guys down. Like I drop guys down. The guys I'm dropping down to get minutes are typically like low to mid 50s or like 60. Like, oh, there we go, 3-2. Harry's not even there for the witnessing of it. So I think people need to like, I think that would be a more realistic fix than just making everyone else shitty. So like the current academy mints, like you look at them, it's just like you look at them, then you look at the comparison to like the play, and it's like, I just am not going to mint this guy. Surface, good morning to you as well. Oh no, 3-3. We're just crumbling every time we get a lead in this game, Harry. So
what is going on? I've missed.
Well, you scored and then they scored right back. You guys, you guys crumble as soon as you take a lead in this game today.
That is not good for me. I heard you through my headphone. And I was like, I need to get
Harry, what do you think about while I was talking when you're off screen? What is your thoughts on like starting the mints at the lower levels higher? 4-3. Let's see if we can see it right away.
That's huge. I just made an adjustment to the my manager as well. I need to go back.
Did you go? Yeah, did you move to attacking?
Yeah.
Yeah, you moved. That's what I hate that. I wish you could just like cancel that out because like now you're on attacking and like you're gonna finish the game probably on attacking here because it's gonna happen. So to me, like, what's your thoughts on this? Your D5 Academy guys start at 50, but their ceiling is like 63, and it takes them, let's say, 600 minutes to move up. And then let's say that D2 Mint is a 55 starting point, but his ceiling is like 78. And it takes him like 400 minutes to get there instead of like 600. So basically what you're doing is that guy starting is a lot closer than the
40.
current
right now.
Yeah, because like right now it's like 40 to 60 and you can't play him. Whereas like 50 to 55 you can. But then you're sacrificing like 5 years down the road. That guy's going to be like a 58 and the other guy's going to be like a 70. But I think that's a more reasonable and realistic way to approach it.
I completely agree with you. I think that kind of counteracts the whole like needing, I say needing, but like it's optimal to have multiple clubs because obviously, you know, I'm in D5, I'm in D7. My D5 guys play them in D7. Like, I'm not saying that shouldn't be a thing. Like, I get it, like academies, and it kind of does emulate like real life football in some ways. But in another sense, like I genuinely think what you say is where if I am in D5, I do get a 50, a couple of 50 rated guys in my academy that can come in and actually like start, and I can train them up. And okay, their ceilings aren't like unbelievable, but yeah, could they get me to D4? Could they sniff the bench quite comfortably in D3? Yeah, I think there should be like every academy mint should be able to like kick on 3 divisions higher than where they are. Like, do you know what I'm saying? So I'm in D5. I think the max my players should be able to compete with, apart from being a rare in an academy, is like, is probably D3.
Yeah, but like the current issue is like right now, your guy, the max he can get to and compete at is D5.
And he starts 2 leagues below, if that makes, you know what I'm saying? So it's a roller coaster. You go from D5, you have to go back down to D7 for a couple of seasons.
Correct.
You then just get back to D5 at some point. Like, you don't actually kick on and go above the 5, right?
Which that just doesn't work. Like, I just don't think that works. Like, I think if you start them higher and limit their potential, because I think you started them at like a 50 and then you limit their growth to, let's say, a 65. Okay, well, I mean, granted, you're going to do this with all the guys. So like, look at that. What a win. By the way, look at that Bro City match. Look at that.
Oh my God, I've never seen that many goals.
No,
16 goals, 7-1, 6-0, 5-1. Wow, it was a very high scoring week in League 11 D5. So does that change anything for me, Sean? I was in 4th. No. Oh, well, okay.
It does change the fact that you have a bigger gap on 5th.
Fine. And
you're starting to gap, which I always like, because like, let's say you get to a point in the season like where you're like 6 games left and you're just like, I'm gonna finish 4th pretty much no matter what I do. That's not always the worst thing. Big game for you.
I've never done that, Sean. I've never had that luxury. Like,
I've had it occasionally, and it is glorious because you just train the shit out of your guys and play them and not having to care. Like last season, I had 2 of my leagues. I think at the last like 5 days of the season, it's just like, I'm gonna finish 5th or 6th. There is no like outcome where I finish higher or lower, and I'm just like, all right, guys, we're just gonna train the shit out of you. And then I'm running out the team that I just want to get as many minutes as possible. I'm like, I don't care.
Right. Yeah, that's luxury. Yeah, I'm excited. I am excited. If I could
never mind. I was reading that wrong.
Oh yeah, if I could steal a top 4, if I could steal a top 4 and, like you said, have 2 or 3 games to say where I can just train the shit out of everyone I kind of want.
Go to your fixture list real quick. How many ghosts do you have in League 1?
I think it's only 1 in the end. Yeah, because remember when we previewed, it was like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
People obviously popped their teams in.
So Chipton is the only ghost. All right, scroll to the bottom of your season.
Oh, hardened last game. That's
but you play like there's a pretty realistic possibility that by the time you play Lyman or Brand, like you sort of know where you're gonna finish. Because if like Culver and Mangantonal or whatever it is, if they both just smash their brains out for like the next like week and a half,
right,
you're gonna have an idea of like, oh, I really can't get up to 2nd. And then at that point, it's like the difference between 4th and 5th is probably pretty minimal. And there we go. There was the Brand game must have been outstanding. So it wasn't. But like, yeah, like, so like all of a sudden, like, let's say you get to that point in the season, you're like 8 points up on third or on fifth, and you're like 6 points down on first and second. You're like, oh, well, shit, I'm just gonna train my guys.
It's not happening. Yeah, I might as well just. Yeah, because I mean, playing Chipton here, obviously they're the ghosts. I'd like to think I'll know definitely 2 games before, but like you said, yeah, maybe 3 or 4 before would be ideal. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised at Harden because they smashed my league. They did really well, but in the same sense, like their team ratings wise never impressed me. But he was, whoever it is, fair play. Like they were just insane. Like they just used to win every game last season. So yeah, fair play to them. But yeah, the guy who's winning it, like I said, I drew with him first game, but he does have like a 76, I think.
Yeah, that's. 74. I mean, it's a resultable game. You could
like
definitely get a result.
Yeah, if I nicked a win here, then that might change my trajectory a little bit in the sense of like where I think I might finish. But yeah, this guy is he's just a little bit too much for me. Like, look at that. It's just like Silverville with 2 rares basically, and it's like this squad, age wise, okay, they're not like super young, but they're not old. He's probably gonna max out in like D3, isn't he, or something like at best. If that would probably be the ideal.
George just made, if you want to pull up Discord, George just made a super long post in Discord about like the star players and the whole academy situation.
Oh, nice. Okay, yeah, I'll get that up now.
I do think that there's been some stuff to be desired in regards to Did
you put it in general? Sorry.
Yeah, you put it in general. It's like there's only a couple.
Oh yeah, I got you. Right, let's have a look. 2 seconds.
But I think sometimes the communication has been a bit slower recently with stuff.
I think they did like an in-person thing or something. So
look at Gator guy slipping in the DMs. What a guy.
No. The Gator. Okay. Sorry, been a busy day. One of the goals of the academy changes was to make the difference in quality of academy prospects per division more consistent to ensure higher division clubs are receiving more value from their academy as a reward for being in the higher division. Okay. Star prospects were part of this, but also the spread of ratings within academies in all divisions was reduced. So there's less overlap between divisions, meaning an academy cohort in division above is much more likely to be significantly better than the one below. Okay.
Which I think we've seen. Like, I do think the academies are. So, but like, if the issue is like once it gets to like D3, D4, the difference between the D3 and the D4 guys just don't seem to be that drastic.
Right. Like, there's not that much difference between my D5 and D7.
No, I mean, like, so I haven't minted. We'll continue with this, but like, I'm pulling up.
Yeah.
Like my D3 that I haven't fully minted. Like, we're looking. I mean, the one guy is a 54 overall. Everyone else is in the low to mid 40s. And then if I go to my D4 team, all my guys are like low 40s. So like, yeah, there's definitely a noticeable difference, I would say, between the two of them.
Right. Where were we? Previously, it was more possible to get an academy cohort of similar quality to the division below if you were unfortunate, given the spread of ratings and no guarantee of a certain amount being above average. Okay. This may have been successful. However, it's clear from feedback that you guys felt it was too much of a drop in overall academy quality compared to previous seasons, as well as given the more mature state of the player economy in terms of starting players being fully trained, which is something you picked up on.
Yeah.
Meaning the gap between academy prospects base rating to competitive ratings for players in that division being bigger than the first few seasons meant that academy cohorts were overall less attractive this season, despite the introduction of star prospects.
Which I agree with. I think
100% what we've said. Yeah. I mean, yeah, before he gets into it though, the star just wasn't starry enough, right? Like that would be my take from that before we get on to the final bit. On star prospects, we were definitely overzealous on their description leading up to season 9. So my apologies on that. The way star prospects were implemented meant that all academies received a guaranteed prospect at or slightly above the top of their range of their normal academy prospects.
I think that's true too. I think
that was true. Yeah, I got that. The center back,
because I sort of understood what they were saying, but like I think people thought they were going to legit get like a pretty damn good player, when in reality it was like you're going to get a player that's like 3 points higher than everyone else.
Literally, yeah. It was basically 3 points higher. Like 43 was that. But saying that, I think a few people did mint like 45s maybe in D5. Like,
for sure.
So yeah, 4,
I mean,
5.
I'm looking at my D4 right now. Like I have a 46, and he is 3 points better than everyone else, if not a little bit more than some of them. So yeah, I think that is fair.
This effect in larger. In high divisions, however, in lower divisions, the effect is less visible given the overlap of the top of the range for base prospects and the bottom of the range for star prospects. Therefore, but describing them as standout was a mistake, as it was a more guaranteed good base rating prospect for your division, which is fair.
The issue is, I guess, is that like it's not a good base player still. That I guess is where the discrepancy is. I think with people,
good, but
because
it's fun, like you know.
I mean, I'm in my D4, and I haven't minted anyone.
Right.
Yeah, so Looking for Food said his best academy player was 5 points less than the best on other teams. That's fair. I think you're still gonna have that sort of unlucky situation. But the issue is all right, so my D4, my star player in my D4. Also, part of the issue too with like the star player, some of the star players are shitty on the back end. So like my star player is a 46 overall guy, but he caps out at a 61. A shittier player in my academy is a 43 overall, but he caps out at 68.
Yeah, so the star effect didn't accumulate, like take into account the potential number.
Well, it's more so just like, okay, my star player actually sucks because he doesn't have the potential. But also, all right, so my star player in my D4 is a 46 overall.
Yeah, that's not great. That is 3 ratings better than my star in D5, which makes sense in that way. But I had 20 potential on mine. What did you say you had? 15 or 16?
15.
Yeah, so it's like, well, obviously that's not a star, right?
Well, the point more so is that like 46 isn't usable
in D4,
at all. Yeah. It's not even usable in D5.
Fine. I mean,
like,
I could use him.
Okay, he's usable, but like when I think what people want is like they want a guy that's like, this guy goes in my lineup.
Yeah, and he slots in straight away and boom. Yeah, fair.
Yeah, and what we got is this guy literally can't go in your lineup in D4, probably can't go in a good lineup in D5. Maybe he's like a middle of the road type of guy in D6. Like, because your Ashout team was in D6 last year and a 46 wasn't cutting it.
Not really, no.
So like all of a sudden, this dude is like, this is a D7 player to start, and his ceiling is a D4 guy.
Yeah.
That's not good.
So the star player Surface has only been introduced for 1 season, by the way.
Yeah, and you got it. Surface doesn't keep up as much with this.
I got it.
So rare. So like you got it, you just didn't notice it because it's not like the guy is like.
I think he means rare though, right? Like he probably thinks of it.
Oh, actually, rare. He might mean rare because I do know that I think he got one at some point though. Like about I think you're right. I think
that could be confusing though. Yeah,
I think he's confusing the star with the rare.
Yeah, he's got it.
Yeah, he's not, and that is true. I didn't get a rare this season. I don't think. Pretty sure all 5 of mine didn't get a rare, but I think this was the first time I didn't get a rare anywhere. Interesting.
Right, let me finish this part. Where were we? Therefore, describing them as standout was a mistake. Okay, it was more of a guaranteed base rating. Yeah. Okay. We've been listening to feedback as well as looking at the data and relevant changes planned for season 10 to try and better balance clubs getting valuable academies while still ensuring being in a higher division is rewarded through your academy prospect quality. Well, I mean, great timing for him to come out and say that literally like you were speaking about 20 minutes ago. So
yeah,
it
was good timing. I appreciate that during our show.
I know, perfect timing. Thank you, George.
Yeah,
I'm just having a little scroll through. For example, if in Division 6 you need 48 plus rated players, one academy guy should be 40ish, not all 30s, most are 32 to 36. Impossible to get him into Division 6 team. Okay.
Surface, what's the team name? We'll go look at who the star is.
Oh, yeah. We will.
We'll take a look. Again, he's not. The issue is like the definition of a star is like misleading here because the definition of a star is just like this guy's going to start better than your other dudes. But if his ceiling sucks ass, it's like,
Right.
it doesn't matter as much. So yeah, so I think it all makes sense. I understand what they're doing. All right, St. Royden is the team, St. Royden City. So let's go see and tell Surface who his star is, because I assume he didn't mint anyone.
Yeah. I can tell you already.
Yeah, definitely Andrew Robinson. That's your star by far. The issue is, like we talked about, like
16.
Yeah, well, he's like a worse player than the other guy, but like that's your star. But like Damon Torres, for example, is a better player. Like I'd rather have Damon Torres than him, but he's your star.
What's that? 55 max. He can go 54 max. Yeah. I mean, same age. I know different positions.
But like, all right, so maybe what they should do, like even I don't know, like maybe make that guy like a 42 to start. Like make the start. I don't think that they sort of understand this part, and I think this is the key. The starting point doesn't necessarily matter long term, but it matters a lot at the beginning. Yeah. If you're not getting a dude who is starting higher, it really makes them very difficult to use at even the division they're minted in. So for you to give us Andrew Robinson, like if it's hard to use him in that division because it's just not going to be competitive. So maybe what you need to do is like this guy needs to be starting at a 46. And let's say he only gets to like 60, or not 60, like 55, but like maybe you start at 45, he gets to 65. At least then he's probably more usable at that range.
Do you think he should cost more being the star if that was the case or not?
No, because like you're giving up some like long-term longevity with stuff. But I think in general, like if you make the academy guys a bit better to start, because the real thing, like if you read through all the comments and stuff and you keep up with like the bitching on the academy stuff, all of the bitching is that guy, when you first mint him, is unplayable in that division by multiple leagues.
By a big stretch, yeah.
Yeah. Whereas, like, I think if you make it to where, like, that guy's playable in that league, a lot of people will be, not every manager has multiple teams to train an academy player lower. So if you make that academy player better to start, but just remove some of the upside, or not even, like, remove the upside. Like, let's say Andrew Robinson, just start him at a 43. So, and then like just remove 5 on the upside. So like instead of him having a training bar that goes to 16, his training bar goes to 11, and this guy's a 43 to start. Is he still appealing to me? No, because I want a guy that can get up there more potential wise. But like, is he more usable at that range? Like, yeah, like can you go back to your shout team and your academy, and we'll. I think because like most people, all their complaints are like, all right,
I did mint one. Yeah.
You minted. Do you know who your star was? Because you
it was the 43 rated centre back. Remember Ali Gamal?
All right, can we go look at them? Do you remember what team they're on?
He's on my team, no?
Yeah, but is he on this one or the other one?
Oh, he was on the other one, but I've moved him up.
So like let's go look at him.
Oh no, I didn't move him up. I'm lying. I didn't. I didn't move him up.
Wow, Harry. Always lying.
Let's have a look. There he is.
So let's just hypothetically, all right, start this dude at a 48.
Yeah.
So instead of him starting at a 43, start him at a 48, remove 5 from his bar, so his potential bar is only 15, and he started at a 48. All of a sudden, this guy is a lot more usable in your division that you minted him in. And it doesn't really impact the long term because, like, would he be playable in like D2? No, he's never going to be playable in D2. But
that's fine.
He's basically able to be a rotational player at the start of his career in D5. And it will take him less time to get to that sort of ceiling of stuff as well. So, like, I think that's sort of like what their issue was. I don't think they understood what they should do from a academy perspective, because like I said, most of the complaints are that you mint a guy and he is so bad you have to drop him 3 leagues.
Right.
If you all of a sudden make him 5 points better to start and don't touch anything on his level, all of a sudden you move him up 2 leagues.
Yeah.
And like you basically turn him from someone like you need to drop him 3 leagues to like, okay, I can use this guy as like my backup player at that position for this season, and he's at least serviceable. And then longer term, like he'll go into a starter that works. I think that's where they missed on it with the academy moves.
I completely agree with you. I think what plays into that is going back to what Looking for Food says, and I'll get to what Surface says now. But like, okay, I do have a second team. You have a couple of second teams or second, third, fourth team. Not everyone does. And I, in a weird way, I genuinely like, I kind of enjoy just playing one game, but I'm one team, but I'm kind of forced to play two with, playing this Ali Gamel guy down, right? Like what you're saying, it kind of stops people needing multiple teams. And I don't necessarily think it's a terrible thing to need more teams. But if I don't have another team and Ali Gamel isn't, like you said, 48 rated to start, I'm not going to mint him in D5. Yeah. If I have one team, I have two, so that's why I minted him, right? I think that solves a little issue there where, like, if people only have one team, Ali Gamel will be getting minted in their one team. Whereas if they don't, and he's 43 rated like he was for me, he isn't going anywhere near my 5 rotational centre backs. It's like, well, I just don't have the time to play this guy here.
Yeah.
So that's why you need your second. Do you get what I'm saying? I think their academy philosophy is based around having a second team, if that makes sense right now. It clearly is, because you can only play them down a couple of divisions. They're not able to play in their native division where they're minted from. So yeah, for me, I think that's kind of stopped, like what you said there. It's the same potential. You just bring forward a year or two's worth of training effectively. He's still 18, but he basically have trained a year and a half's worth of season, or, a season and a half's worth of games. So if it's
also, you are so fucking inefficient with how you train guys. It's wild.
Who, me?
Yeah. You just train the dude 4 times and then fucking...
No, I don't. Oh, him, yeah. He played last game. I'll give him that. He played the last game.
Finally played.
Yeah, he finally got minutes. 92. But, like, yeah, I'm just all over I just train whoever's fucking got availability, really.
Well, that is kind of actually true, because you just don't have many guys.
I don't have a ton.
I have noticed, like, my wing sail team, because that's my D2 team, is... a lot of the guys are pretty much fully mature, so like they don't have much left. Right. So I've noticed that, like, if I look at that team, my like training, like, I don't even think I have much left. I have training. Let me go look at it. Like, I probably have looking at it, I have I have more than I thought, but a lot of it's more recent. But I'm entering the gauntlet where like I just play like good team after good team after good team, and it sucks ass. Yeah. But like I have like 15 training sessions that I have like available, but like before a couple games ago, it was probably like 8, and I just really can't train them right now.
So guess how many trainings I've done on Ron Moore since start of the season?
Since start of the season? Did you have him with a lot of openings?
He might have had one, definitely no more than one.
So you probably
no, that's a lie. No, that's a lie. He might have had 2. He might have had 2.
I trained him like 3 times this season.
5 times.
Oh, nice. Oh yeah, 59 really quicker. I always forget how fast.
Yeah, and I've been using coach. Like, I had a couple of coachings. I've still got 2 left. I think I had like 4 at the time, so I've just used him. But last couple of games, and he still has one more available potential, to be fair. But yeah, I've just been training him. Like, I'm not putting down the first 3 games to like not playing him, as the reason I didn't win any of them, or whatever. But I genuinely hadn't used him up to today, actually, properly. Sorry, I think.
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
Yeah. So like, I was just a bit, I just wanted to try and boost him up as much as I can. I haven't trained Gondo yet, the guy you sent me, just because I've been playing him so much. But I'm excited to get a training on him. I've trained Davies once, which was I think yesterday. Who else have I really been? I've been working on my left back, because he's my weak spot right now. He's up 1 rating so far. Gonzalez is obviously maxed. Is there anything else?
Quite a few dudes that are maxed at this point. Like, I probably have like 8 to 10 per team that are maxed.
Really?
I would think so. I mean, maybe it's more so at the top, but like it's only becoming more and more too. Maybe not as much. Like, my top team has a lot of people maxed because they are the good players. So like they're max or very close to max. I guess my lower teams don't really have people maxed right now.
My Vieira that you obviously gave me, I had him in my lower team, but I promoted him a few days ago just because I was kind of low on midfielders, and he definitely will get minutes from me. He's 47 now, so 20 years old, 47, doesn't have any potential to be unlocked, but 12 to go. So excited to get him up. I also brought up, remember Moran? You told me to bring him down, which I did for the first like 5 games. Again, it was a case of I didn't have cover for Claudio Gonzalez. So
yeah, makes it tough.
And now he's 50, you know, so like he'll definitely get minutes for me now.
Yeah, it's difficult to like balance the like minutes and I need cover type of thing. Like it's difficult to manage both of those.
Yeah, because I had a 37 rated guy who will be like 59 rated at some 39 rated guy will be 59. I had him as my backup to Claudio Gonzalez, but like you're talking 30 ratings different there. You know, like it's a lot. I can't be, the disparity shouldn't be 40 rated and a 72 for my two, you know, my position, my DM basically.
Yeah, no, for sure.
You know, so I brought him back down and then swapped him with Moran. But yeah, I'm feeling good. Did you buy anyone like mid-seat, you know, with the
No, I did actually. I did. I think my D3 team is just kind of like dead in the water as like a mid-table team because I just didn't get the wins I needed in key games. And like looking at it, I just like, I think I'm going to finish like mid-table. So what I did is like my Noro team in D4 is in a good position. They're in second. And I think that I have a pretty realistic shot to win the division, if not at least get promoted. So what I did is, and I kind of like, even before the season, I kind of thought that, Norough. And I kind of like did a hybrid where like I didn't make a second best team and a third best team. I kind of made like a 2A and 2B. But what I did is I moved like 3 dudes from my D3 team into this team and moved like a worse version backwards. So that was the only moves I did at the midseason. I don't typically do stuff at the midseason because there's not usually as enough information to really go. But I felt like if I didn't do stuff at the midseason this time, that I was going to end up in a position where by the time I have the second window, it's going to be too late. So I kind of just decided to use this as like I got to make these moves, because if I don't make these moves, it's going to be detrimental to me. But I think I'm in a pretty good shape with both of them to sort of make some stuff happen that I need to. And then honestly, if I end up in a mid-table this year in D3, I'm totally fine with it, because if I'm in the mid-table and I'm like, okay, I'm going to finish like 5th, I don't care if I finish 4th or 6th or 5th. Like they're all
basically the same.
And I have like, I'm going to look at this team. Like I have a shitload of training to do. I have like 30 training roles open in my other team. This team has a shitload too, but like I'm not going to be able to train them as much here, I don't think.
This team's like so OP, isn't it?
Well, so I literally though, yeah, but so I moved Simmons, Seitz, and Kordic over yesterday.
Oh, okay.
And before that, like my team was probably clear second. With the move, I think I'm like joint first, and I play first tomorrow. So like we haven't played yet. If I win, I'm like pretty much locked in to get second, or like I'm pretty much like capped out at second. Like I don't really think I can win. But if I win tomorrow, I'm in a pretty good position to win the league. And if I play, yeah. So I kind of I think it's
I'm picking a random one.
No, I'm actually in this one too. This is the I'm 4th here.
Got you, yeah, up top.
And then I'm 10th here, but that's like a semi-ghost at 10th.
Yeah. Choth. Jack P's in first.
They beat me yesterday 3-2. This team is like my 4th best team. And I think, but again, like I'm not that concerned this year if I end up in the mid-table, because I have so many training minutes that I need to use that like if I'm just sort of relegated to the mid-table and I'm like, all right, it is what it is, I'm going to get like the last 5 days of the season, I'm just going to pound trainings.
Jack must be a hell of a player with only 2 rares here.
Yeah, my team's not that terrible, but it's definitely worse. So look at Uptalk Park. That's my team.
Oh, yeah.
It's definitely worse, but it's not like horrible. But it's definitely worse. But like if you click on the available potential. Like,
oh wow, yeah.
If I end up in a situation where I'm gonna get 5th and it's like pretty locked in, I'm gonna get 4th to like 6th in the middle of the season.
Just training the shit.
Train the shit out of the boys, and like that, like all these guys are gonna get used. So like the issue is it's not an issue, it's actually a good thing. This is a good thing. There weren't many ghosts in my leagues this season.
There weren't many?
No, there were not many ghosts in my league this season. So what happens is like if there's not many ghosts in your leagues, you get less training opportunities during the season, I would say.
Yeah.
So I'm not super concerned about stuff this season. Like I think that a lot of my leagues are going to play out as the season goes, where like I'm either going to be where I want to be, or I'm not going to be where I want to be.
Mm-hmm. I saw somebody saying yesterday there was like some really good deals on OpenSea for rares. I can't remember what the situation was, and I think it was Hybe ended up buying them or something. There was like it was like 3 or 4 rares or something on the market, and people were in Discord saying like these look too good to be true or whatever, and he ended up buying them. They were like 0.1 for, I can't remember. He was like a centre forward.
You can probably find his
we
if you want to search, go to clubs and you can probably find his wallet. But like no, like on OpenSea you can probably find.
Oh, sorry. Does he have? Is it Hybe?
Probably Hybe.eth would be my guess.
That
would be my guess.
Yeah. I thought you were.
Maybe has go to Footium clubs.
Yeah.
Which you're gonna laugh at this.
Go on.
Search Blackpool.
Oh yeah, well it was in one of your leagues then, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's how I know it that he owns. So that's probably the wallet where it's gonna be. So like go there.
Yeah. I think it was these. There we go. Yeah, centre forward.
Like click on him, see how much he paid. Yeah.
So it was like 0.1.
I think that might just be like a more like he sold him at 0.1. He sold him at 0.1, which I mean.
Really?
I don't think he has very much success.
I thought he bought them up. That's weird. Yeah, you're right, but
like yeah, so like are those the good prices or are those bad prices? I don't know. Like I think rares have been like, I think the price of mint rares is too much.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think it's too much right now.
Transfer
is my thought.
Received. Yeah, these are the ones he got though.
Oh wait, so did they just trade stuff?
He said something like he was like, yeah, I sold 0.8 worth of rares and brought in point or something like that. I don't know if it was with the same person or not. But I know he like got rid of rares and brought some in or something. And this is what's that? 25-year-old keeper, 23-year-old right back, but can get to a whatever 80 or something.
So they're all decent cards. But I mean, the issue is some of them are older. Like they're just not going anywhere.
Yeah, this is the one I think people were saying like centre forward or something, and everyone was like, sort of waxing lyrical about it. I guess it could be a war. 9 minus that 26. Yeah, he could be an 89, right? 89, I think. But yeah, just a little random tangent there. But yeah, okay, all fun and games. But yeah, the George post definitely. I mean, it's good. It's good that he's come out and said that, because, like you said, there has been a bit of, not uproar, but definitely fair points being made in the community, which is like I said, more than fair. Oh, there we go. We've been mentioned. Harry Trades might have mentioned it in his YouTube video.
Yeah, he did.
Oh yeah, I might have spilled something. I mean, I didn't say anything crazy, but
no, you didn't.
But yeah, fair enough. Let's see if I've been outed anymore. No, I think we're good. So, okay, well, let's see how that all transpires. I'm obviously, I'm sure we're both pretty excited for Division 10 to roll around, but we've still got a lot of Division 9 to go. Are we getting back on Monday next week, or are you busy?
Yeah, we can go back on Monday probably next week. We should we can schedule that. Where's my phone? Oh, there's my. Got to pull up the calendar to see what I got going on.
Yeah.
But next Monday should be good. Yeah, next Monday I'm good. After, you want to do noon again next Monday?
Yeah, noon next Monday. What date is that? I'm just looking at what fixture I have.
14th.
14th. Okay, yeah. Stone United at home. Okay. So that'll be like, we still got a little. We got a good chunk of the season left.
Yeah, we still have. It feels like we don't have as much. Like it always feels like we don't have as much left, but then we do, because like I feel like the transfer windows, you're expecting like one to be at like the midway point, and then another one like at like the final. But like it just, I don't know. It feels like we have not a lot left of the season, but we actually have like 14 games left.
We still have, because on episode after that, then it'll be a game before last, if that makes sense, of the last but one game of the season. So that'll fall pretty nicely. We could push it to the Tuesday if you want to do last game, just in case anything fun's
Yeah, possibly. Well, I think that one we can sort of like play and be like, all right, let's see where we're at, because it also like if a shout like doesn't have anything to play for, we could do it.
Yeah, well, we do something with your one, like if you've got a D4 or whatever that's fighting for first. Or,
typically, like I would say between our 5 or so teams that we take seriously, like most likely one of them will have something come down towards the end.
100%. I appreciate everyone watching. Anyone watching?
Surface. That's your star player is the best guy. Like I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah,
like your star player was the dude we said was your star player.
George said the star players are the ones with the higher floor, and not so much. Yeah.
So you can think whichever one is your star player that you want, but like the one that is your star player.
None of them are stars, but he is technically the star. Like
exactly.
Yeah, it should be the guy with the higher floor, realistically.
Exactly.
But yeah, appreciate everyone watching. Anyone watching it back, again, appreciate you guys as well. And yeah, catch you on Monday. Good luck with the rest of the fixtures for the week. And yeah, see you guys Monday.